Welcome back to Dead Good Book Reviews and a brand new reading vlog here on the channel. I'm Judith, in case you've not been here before. I'm going to take you through everything that I am going to read this week and do. It is my last week of work. I'm working Monday to Friday and then I'm done until the 4th of January. Very, very exciting. I wanted to come to you before my run when I wouldn't have wet hair, but that's just not how it panned out because I'm struggling with some reports. So we're down to the wire today, but let me update you on what I read over the weekend. Despite it only being 2 days ago, I genuinely can't remember if I talked about the fact that I finished Golden Fall by Robin Hobb on audiobook. Very enjoyable. Thought it was good. Similarly to Madship. I think it's either Madship or one of the Rainwilds books by Robin Hobb. Not a lot happens. It's quite a sort of in-betweeny kind of book. It's just sort of getting you to the next stage. So I didn't love it as much as I loved some of the other Robin Hobb that I've read, but I think as a part of a trilogy it's going to make a lot of sense, hopefully. But it's another week or so until my next Audible credit comes in, so we shall see when that happens. But yeah, finished it, thought it was pretty good. I also read Fireheart Tiger by Aliette de Bodard, which is her new novella. It's coming out in February, I believe, January or February. I want to read that again before I make any comment on it, because I think I read it with too Western of an eye. I have learned some stuff since, and I would like to read it again with that viewpoint on. I don't think it's going to change how I rated it, but I think it might change how I experience some parts of the story that I didn't understand as well, and I think that's important to read things with a better eye on. So I will talk about that when I've read that again. This week, my plan is to read Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell, which, yeah, after complaining last week about reading a long book all week, this is 1,000 pages. I think I will be happy if I get to 500 this week. I think I'm going to try and not dwell too deeply on it. I am 60 pages in from yesterday, and I've mucked it off in chunks. So if I read a chunk a day, I would finish it in a week. But I think I'm just going to try and read 500 pages or so. So there's that. I want to reread Forest of a Thousand Lanterns, which I feel like I talk about in so many videos. So it'll be nice to finally reread that. If it turns out that I don't like it now, I'm going to be upset. I still have Sister Song to read. I've kind of left that on there. I'm just letting that happen. And also I would like to read Black Sun by Rebecca Roanhorse, which is my NetGalley read. That's out in January, so I want to get to that before the end of the month, really. Other than that, what else is happening this week? I've got to do some present wrapping. I've got to clear my entire inbox because I'm starting a new job in January, and I don't want to have to be sifting through emails to find things. That's got to happen. And then I just want to have a relax in the evenings and the rest of the time and do some reading. So hopefully it'll be an interesting week. I shall see you the next time I see you. Look, I could have lied to you and changed my jumper and pretended like I wasn't wearing the same jumper 2 days in a row, but that wouldn't feel very authentic now, would it? Hello, it is Tuesday. I'm just finishing off my lunch break. Let's focus on my face, shall we? There we go. I have a little bit of a reading update for you. Nothing particularly exciting at this stage. I am 346 pages through Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell, or Norrell, unsure. It's just a lot. I think is my verdict. I think if you love a book that's a lot, grand. But for me, I don't need all of the footnotes. It's so much. And I think that's probably part of the appeal, but it doesn't appeal to me. So I'm not enjoying that aspect of it. I'm enjoying the story. I think the story is good. I tend to have unintentional themes in my reading. So a few weeks ago, it was all catacombs all of the time. Every book I read had catacombs in it or was set in Paris and referenced the catacombs. It was odd. Apparently this week it's Fae. Because I am, as I say, 350 or so pages through that. And I am also, I think, about 20% of the way through Malice by Heather Walter, which doesn't come out till April. I don't know why I'm reading it now, but I am. So we've got, main character is part Vila, which is like evil fairy kind of person with evil magic. And she's employed in this house as a dark grace, which is like a... There's a lot of context to give you. Grace is people who give, beauty things to the clients that come to them. She's a dark grace, so she does the cursing side of it. Makes sense. But I don't know if that's an original idea or if it's drawing off something from some kind of fable mythology character that's a grace, because that's The Graces by Doniel Clayton. A flattering angle because I moved my chair. I just looked it up. Graces, charities, Greek mythology. I should probably know that. But yes, I am enjoying that fairly well so far. It's doing a lot of telling rather than showing, which isn't my favourite kind of world building. Like it's a lot of, I did this because this is why I do this and this is how it works in the world. And it's like, why in the narrative are you telling me this? I need a reason for you to be giving me that detail in the context of the book. And there isn't one at the moment. But the actual story is pretty decent so far, and I think it might get sapphic. Maybe. I'm hoping it does. So I'm holding out for that, and we shall see. Other than that, my plans for the rest of the day are finish the project plan I'm working on, just exciting work things, and wrap my presents this evening. Presents not for me, they're for other people, but they need wrapping, so that will happen as well. Hello! Fun fact, I'm drinking cherry cola bottle flavoured tea, and it is surprisingly delicious. I would have thought it would be bad also. It is brewing. Just, well, tidbits about my Thursday. How are we doing? I'm doing well. Got today and tomorrow left, and then I'm off for Christmas. So things are good. Things are basically either work is totally manic because someone sends me something that needs to be finished within the next 2 days, or it's very chilled because I can't start anything because I will forget what happened before next week. Not next week. Next year. We're flippity-flopping in and about. I missed yesterday. Typical Wednesday reasons, just wasn't much to say, really. I finished, let's do things in order. I finished Malice, that's what I finished. The Sleeping Beauty one, it did get gay, which was very nice. I found out that I was just making things up and there are in fact graces in mythology, which I definitely should have known. Thank you. I'll just displaying my mistakes for the internet. It's fine. We should all accept that we can be wrong sometimes. Overall, I was surprised by how much I enjoyed it. I think that there are stronger books out there. Oh, it's frustrating because in some ways there were lots of it that I really, really liked. I liked the take on the Graces and I liked the take on Sleeping Beauty and the kind of elements of the story that were picked around from that. And in other ways, I can think of other retellings I've liked more, and I can think of other books that tackled the Graces that I liked a bit more. So overall, I ended up giving, I think, 4 stars, which is pretty solid. It was good. I enjoyed reading it. I think that it did a really good thing that retellings can do, where it took a lot of ideas from the original and kind of left that story behind. So then when it brings in elements of the story later, it gives you a nice bit of dramatic irony where you as a reader are like, oh, I know what that item in the fairy tale does, and therefore that'd be interesting. I suppose an equivalent would be if you were doing a Snow White retelling that had characters, Snow White and evil stepmother, and everything else was totally different story, but at one point an apple was brought in. It's the equivalent of that. I'm not spoiling it for you. I had a good time with it. I would read another book in the series. I don't think I'm like rushing out to buy myself a copy of the book. If that makes sense, that's kind of where I'm at with it. I then today finished every time Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell. It's because I want to say Jonathan Norrell and Mr. Strange every time. And I'm unhauling it. Not because I don't enjoy it, but because it is not for me. I think I like the core story, but the core story is like this much of the book, and this much is like surrounding stories and extra stuff and footnotes. And for me, I prefer a tighter story with less detail. I like detailed world building, but like extra bits of story, I'm just not wild about it. And I know people love this, including some friends who I really hope aren't watching this. Please don't hate me. But I'm not going to pick it up again. And if I'm not going to pick it up again, or if I did need to pick it up again as part of, like, I don't know, pick a random book on my bookshelf, I would be disappointed to get this one. And that is not a reason to keep something. It frees up a fair amount of room on the shelf, which is nice, and I don't have to write a review for it, which, you know, is pretty good going. It does some interesting stuff. I think that I prefer Zen Cho's Sorcerer to the Crown, which does similar stuff with history and fae and magic in England and things. I think that's very good. I'm excited still to read Piranesi? Are we going for Piranesi or Piranesi? I'm still not sure. But I'm excited to read that because that's quite concise and I think that'll be really interesting. That's done. I have yet to start Forest of a Thousand Lanterns, but I'm going to probably this evening when I've wrapped presents. I must do that first, but that won't take very long to read. It's a pretty fast-paced book if I recall correctly. So hopefully we will finish that by tomorrow, and then I think I want to start Black Sun. And if I can get to like 50% of the way through Black Sun by the time the vlog ends, I will be pleased. My battery's dying. Time to go. I'm going to go enjoy this cup of tea. and get back to work. Hello from me post-run. I did actually get this wet out in the rain, but this is clean hair. Hi, it is Friday. It is my last day of work before the Christmas holidays. It's a quiet day, unsurprisingly. I am just trying to kind of get bits and bobs done before the end of the year, so that's nice. I have finished Forest of a Thousand Lanterns. I didn't enjoy it as much as the first time I read it, which is unfortunate, but sometimes that is the way that the cookie crumbles, and I still definitely enjoyed it, so I'm hanging on to it. And I kind of want to read the second one now, because I haven't read the second one in a couple of years, so I think that would be interesting, and I might do that later in the year or next year. I still thought it was really good, and I really like it as a story. I just liked the main character a bit less. I felt like she had less agency, and a lot more is focused on like what she's taught to believe, which in remembering it, I was thinking, oh, she makes all these choices for herself, and then actually reading it again, you're like, oh no, she just thinks she ought to do that. It's still kind of a powerful story, but it was less empowering than I thought it was going to be. Unfortunate. So next up, I want to start Black Sun, and I haven't done that yet, but that's my next plan. I don't know if that will happen today, because I might just sort of give myself a bit of time off reading for a little bit, do some editing, do some other bits and bobs, but we shall see tomorrow. Thank you very much for your time. Hello. It's Saturday. I think it's probably lunchtime by now. Just about. I slept in a lot. I sound unwell. I don't think I am. I think it's just, you know how when you've been working flat out for, in my case, like 2 months straight, and then you stop and your body's like, okay, cool, I'll just be a little bit run down. Like, I'm not ill. I'm just a little bit run down. That's where I'm at today. First day of holiday. Joys. Things to update. I've started Black Sun. I'm 13% of the way into that. And I don't have too much to say. And I think I'm going to put it down just for today, because there's a lot of names and different things to remember and detail that I'm not going to retain if I read that today. So we're going to stop. For the good of the book. I want to enjoy the book. I don't want the book to be done a disservice by me trying to read it before I vlog. But I'm liking the beginning of it so far, and we have a character who uses neopronouns, which is really cool. That will probably continue over the weekend, but we shall see next week. Next week's vlog, you'll be able to tell. I think that's everything. I don't think I've done anything else. I've had a pretty decent reading week this week. I've already edited the vlog up to this point, and every single time I failed to say Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell. Every single time. I don't know why that book's title wouldn't stick in my head, but it wouldn't. So yes, I read that this week. I read some other bits and bobs. It's been good. I've got some videos edited. I'm trying to make it so I've got everything up until after Christmas ready to go on the channel, with the exception of vlogs, because I don't know if I'm going to want to do any filming while I'm up with my parents from Wednesday. It should be really lovely. I'm living in slight fear that we're going to come down with something before we can go, but I trust that we will be fine. We've been being very safe, please. I don't know if I'm going to vlog while I'm up there, so I don't know if there will be a vlog next week. At the moment, I'm planning on doing it, but I won't vlog Christmas and things because that's family time. So basically watch this space. There might be something next Sunday, there might not be, but there are videos in the intervening times. And now I'm going to enjoy the rest of the first day of my holiday by eating a buttload of toast. I should probably sign off the vlog, shouldn't I? Yeah, can't just end it on saying a buttload of toast. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you've had a good time seeing what I've been reading this week. Comment below with what you've been up to, what you're planning on reading over the next kind of couple of weeks, that Christmas period. Are you a get loads of reading done because I'm just chilling? Or are you a get no reading done because I'm doing too many things with my family kind of person? I'm interested to know. While you're commenting below, you can follow me on all of my social media. There may be dog content on that social media in the next week, just saying. You can also subscribe because it makes me feel loved and appreciated, and I would love to hit 600 subscribers before the end of the year. Just saying. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. There's gonna be some bloopers now. Words, phrases, names.